Yo, what is up? So, if you follow my Instagram, you'll know that going stage 3 was put on delay due to how do I say this nicely? Mother Nature being a bitch. Due to fucking snow, right? It snowed. I couldn't do installs, it was just too cold outside, and I didn't want to get under the car, snow drip all over my face and shit like that, you know what I mean? So, started to warm up. Weather said it was gonna be nice, and it has been beautiful outside. About 50s and 60s, so it was nice. I was like, all right, I'm ready. I got all my parts in. I'm ready to install everything. Well, most of my parts in. So I work 12-hour shifts, right? And I go to work last night, and I'm like, all right. In the morning, I'm about to do these installs. Stage 3, baby. Here we go. Stage 3. Go to work all night, walk out the door, and this is what I fucking see. More fucking snow. Look at that shit. Telling you, man. Being Mother Nature, we about to throw some fucking hands, yo. Nah, for real though, man. This is some bullshit. But you know what? Fuck it. We're not gonna let this stop us. So I pretty much have 2 days to get a lot of this done. I am getting an etude from Juan Watson. He did send me my base map, so that's ready to go. Just gotta finish these installs, load that map, and start data logging pretty much. But because my car is looking like this right now, it's gonna suck. So this is everything I want to do though. I want to take off my bumper. I'm going to cut it. Bam! Open up some more airflow before I start data logging. So that's something I have to do. I also got a bunch of parts right here. Alright, so this video and installation is going to be a little bit different. I got to do my TGVs, delete my EGR. I have another gauge pod. I don't got the gauge yet though. It's on its way. It should be here later today. This is for my boost. So I got this 10-foot line of boost that I'm going to have to run from the vacuum line off my bypass valve up to the column. Got my grip speed intake I got to install. Obviously my flex fuel kit. My boost controller. I did go ahead and buy a brand new OEM turbo inlet. It was only $6 to $8 online, man. But when we get to that part, I'll show you why. Fuck it, I'm gonna get down and dirty for you guys. But so check it. I think this is gonna be like a 2-part video. Instead of doing a separate detailed installation for every single one of these, I'm gonna just do like half of them now and then half of them tomorrow. I'm going to do the flex fuel kit, the EGR delete. Oh yeah, so because I'm such an indecisive motherfucker, I ended up buying these TGV deletes a long time ago, like 2 months ago. I actually went ahead and got the iBR full TGV deletes. Be here today, so I have to wait on this part. Also got some coolant because you're gonna have to burp your coolant system after you delete your EGR. I already did it, but what you want to do is take off your fuse box cover. You want to pull this 15A fuse right here, which is your fuel pump fuse. You want to go in your car, get fuel pressure on your access port. You want to start the car and wait for the car to die, and it will relieve most of that pressure in these fuel lines. If you pull the fuse and you try to start the car or you can't start the car, put the fuse back in, then go start the car, then come back and pull the fuse and then wait for it to die out. But that's what I did. There's the fuse. So I got that part done. I am going to take off this pipe. You don't necessarily have to, but I'm gonna have to anyways because when I do my TGV deletes and stuff. So I'm going to take off this cold side of my intercooler piping, which is this worm clamp and then this worm clamp down here. But I'm actually going to take it off from the throttle body over there because I got another one. Boom, this T-bolt clamp that I'm going to use. So let me take this off and then we will go from there. Next thing we're going to do is remove the battery, which is fairly simple, you know. Bolt, 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 and then take your battery and take it completely out. My battery is going to be out for about 2 days, so I'm actually going to run to Walmart when my girlfriend gets here and get a charger for my battery. Now exact same thing with the other side. All right, once we got it taken out, There it is. There's going to be gas in the lines, so make sure you pour it out somewhere. Now we can start pre-installing this actual sensor itself. So what we're going to do is there's two lines, one's long, one's short. The longer line goes on the right side like this, bam. The shorter line will go on the left side like that, bam. Bam. All right, next we're gonna go back to the fuse box. We're gonna take this bolt off, this bolt, and this bolt. Essentially is going to go behind there, and we're gonna bolt that in. So take those 3 bolts out. All right, so I had some gold tape, so I actually decided to gold wrap it. But there it is, how I got that in there. Also, I took this one out. Well, you have to. But I just loosened these. I didn't take these all the way out. And the way I put this in is essentially the left side you want to feed under this harness up here like this. So it's like in there like that. And then you get this and you just tuck it under there. Like so. And then just put your bolt back in there. All right, once you get it in there, bolt it down. Got that one tied down, that one bolted down. Now we can feed our lines. The one coming out the left side goes in here. Boom. The long one on the right side goes over there. All right, so that's how I routed mine. I brought this one up and just went under there, plugged in there, utilized these clamps that the old one came off of. And then one on the left side, oh, you can't see it, just came up, came over here, and then plugged in there. So these are in. We're gonna grab our wires. It's pretty cool because they're all labeled. So obviously the long end is gonna fish down. That's gonna go to your O2 sensor down at the bottom. But the top lines, these, so that brown one is gonna go to the flex fuel sensor itself down in here. You heard the click. Now the other 2 ends, where is it? Here, the shorter ends. So right now I still have my TGVs on the car, but this is where your TGVs are plugged into. This was a bitch to get off, but it's on. It was down in there. What I did was I got a flathead, went on this side, and did this and twisted it up like that and got that out. So if you're gonna keep your TGVs right here, what you do is you unplug it, and then on these 2, you'll plug this into this one, and then this other end you'll replace it and plug into there. But since I am getting rid of my TGVs, I don't need to plug it in there. I just need to plug this one to this one like this. And then I'm going to tape this one completely off. Make sure it's nice and sealed. And just plug this into that one. And then zip tie this out the way somewhere. Alright, so I got it. See? Plug that in there. I completely tape this side the fuck up. Now your bracket, this is going to go here. But because I have my cold side piping that goes there, I'm going to have to probably do something like this and put it on like this or something. But I'm going to have to wait and do this when I put that back on. So this part is going to have to wait. But yeah, originally it'll just go here like this. So I'm going to have to wait on that. I'm going to have to zip tie all this stuff, but I'm going to have to wait on that too. But we can go now, we can go down to the bottom, and I'll show you where it plugs into the O2 sensor. All right, so once you get under your car, my heat shield still. Your O2 sensor is this one with the green plug. Bam. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna unplug that, plug one end of that green plug into here, and then this other end and the other end of the green plug. But now this end will go into this end, like so. And then this end will plug into this end. Bam. Now you're going to want to pull your slack up and, you know, zip tie these and stuff like that so they're not banging around. I just zip tie it like that pretty much. All right, fellas, so it's been a few hours. I decided to take a break, hang out with your girlfriend, and run to Walmart. So, update, this is cool. I got this from Walmart. Bam. So, battery's good. That's being maintained with that. Also, guess what just came in the mail? Bam. Let's see what they are. Bam. Baby. My full upper and lower TGV deletes came in. Oh, these babies are nice. So I guess if you're wondering what the difference is, I'll show you. Boom. Versus boom. And I'll also show you comparison once I take the old ones out the car. But yeah, these are fulls, upper and lowers. These are just the uppers. So you're gonna get a little more airflow with the lowers deleted also. Ron Watson says that I think it's an additional 9 horsepower if you delete the lowers. Yep, nice little sticker. I love me and my stickers. And then my boost gauge, baby. Boost gauge came in. So now I can utilize, got me a whole bunch of these microfiber towels too. This vacuum line, 6mm. I hope I got the right size, I'll see. But that is going to go with that gauge pod, which will sit basically like this. My hand's in the way, but you get the drift. Bam. I'll have the boost gauge. So I'm gonna have to reroute all this, or not reroute it, but route additional lines through there. If you watch my AFR gauge ratio, you know what I'm talking about. But yep, gotta do that. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So because I got this though, we are going to do the EGR delete and this TGV delete. I'll try to do detailed instructions on how to do that. And then we got the coolant to burp, but because we still have to do other things before I start the car and download the base map, burping the coolant system will be the very last thing we do. So, but yeah, if you guys do delete your EGR, you're going to want to burp your coolant because you're going to spill coolant, all right? But obviously I'm not going to do it because it's going to be the very last thing I do after I install everything else. So bam, let's get this shit going. All right, update on the TGV and EGR delete. I haven't started shit. It's cold, man. And when it's cold, I get lazy. And when I get lazy, I get hungry. And then when I get hungry, I order pizza. All right, on a serious note though, I ate some pizza, I drank some coffee, I feel good, I feel warm. I'm ready to go knock this out now for you guys. EGR delete, TGV upper lower full one-piece delete install, coming now. I'm just playing, but because it was so cold outside, I had to improvise. This is what I did. Bam. Closed the garage door and lit this motherfucker up. I think this should be a sufficient amount of lighting. So yeah, for real though, close the garage door. Got it nice and lit up out here. I'm dressed nice and warm now. All right, let's do it. So the first thing you want to do is take off your top mount intercooler if you have one. I obviously have the front mount, so. But if you need instructions, just revert to my front mount intercooler install, and it goes over it. But essentially, you have a bracket right here. You're gonna take that bracket off. You're gonna take the worm clamp off to your throttle body coupler. You're gonna take this bolt out and the worm clamp to your charge pipe, which is gonna be right here. But once you got that out, your EGR system is gonna be over here. Let me show you. Bam, this right here is your upper EGR pipe. It's gonna have 4 bolts. Those 2 bolts, and then those 2 bolts. Bam, bam. There's gonna be a gasket in between this one. Once you take those 4 bolts out, that upper pipe will come out. All right, so this is that EGR pipe. Here's that gasket I was talking about. The 2 bolts that came out of the bigger side, you're gonna keep. We're gonna reuse these. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get our EGR delete block off plate. your block off plate is gonna go right there. Just like so. Bam. And you're gonna reuse those bolts. All right, so that's how it looks. Bam, the block off plate. Now we're gonna focus on the rest of the system, which is right there. So if you're looking at it from the top, here's the rest of your system. These two bolts, this pipe going all the way down, and it goes pretty far down there. These two hoses connected to your lower EGR pipe. That's what we're gonna focus on. These hoses have coolant in them. We're gonna take this top one off, and we're gonna take the one right next to it or under it off, this bottom one, and we're gonna put these two together using this. So the best way to do it is use some vice grips. If you don't have vice grips, Amazon sells these. Like hose clamps. All right, so essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna clamp this one, and we're gonna clamp that lower one. We're gonna take these butterfly clamps or locking clamps, move them up on both of them, so we can take these two coolant hoses off this EGR pipe, and then put them together using that elbow. Coolant is gonna come out, so make sure you stuff some like paper towels or something down there to try to catch most of it. But yeah, this one and that one, take this off. The other one is down there. You'll be able to see, you probably can't see it. We're here. Yeah, it's hard to, oh, there it is. You see it? Kind of. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I locked that top one. I moved the clamp back. I stuffed this rag down there. I also clamped the bottom one. So clamp the top and the bottom one. Stuff this rag down here just in case it leaks coolant. And this pipe, now I'm gonna take that off. So I'll show you. All right, not too bad, not too bad. All right, now we're gonna get this out the way. All right, so I just tucked it over here, got it out the way. Now we can work on this lower one. So basically same thing. I'm gonna get that butterfly clamp, move it out the way, move it up, and then pull this whole thing off the pipe, bring it up, and then connect it to this one. But first I'm gonna stuff this way down there too. All right, so I moved it up. You see how high it is now? Just went down there with these, squeezed it, moved it up, stuffed that yellow thing down there, that yellow cloth. Now I'm gonna pull this up and we're gonna see how much coolant comes out. All right, here it comes. All right, a little more than the top, but yeah, cool. Now I got that out. Boom, there it is. Now we need to get this. And then hook it up to the other side, and then I'll show you. And there we go, fellas. Got it clamped up together. Bam, just like that. Now obviously we'll zip tie all this shit down and stuff, just like we did the AOS. Make it nice and clean and nothing loose and wobbly. But first we got to get rid of this rest of this EGR pipe. So it's gonna be these two bolts on the top. Boom, boom. There's gonna be a bolt. It's gonna be bolted to the bracket. Oh, it's gonna be hard to see. It's right down there. See that bracket? There's that bolt. We're gonna take that off, and then once you get that bolt off, I'll show you the other one. All right, so those two bolts are 12s. The easiest way to get that bolt down there, I found, is use a 6-inch extension. That bolt down there is a 10. So I went over here and under like this. And bam, that's how I got to it. Like that. Obviously my setup might look different. I have an IAG aero separator. I also have a 2019, so if you have a 2015 or 16, you have an ECU probably right there. So my setup might look a little bit different, but the system's the same and it's the same process. You might just have to maneuver it a little bit different to get to certain bolts and stuff depending on what your setup looks like. All right, once you get that bracket bolt off, if you follow that pipe all the way down, let's see if I can focus. See that bolt right there? Right there. And there's gonna be one directly across on the other side, right there. Bam. Use an extension. Go down from over here. Go all the way down, and then bring it all the way across like that. So where am I? Right there. I think those are 10s too. See how I'm on it though. So I'll just use an extension and go from the bottom like that. So they're actually nuts. I used a 6-inch plus a 2-inch. It was actually pretty easy. I had plenty of room. Like I said, this is my setup though. I don't know if your ECU's here, it might be more difficult. But like I said, I just went down through there like this and then got both those nuts off. So now I just got to finish taking these top 2 bolts off, and this whole pipe will come out. Oh, there's a gasket right there. Bam. Whoops. Bent it. Oh well, we don't need it. There's a gasket on the bottom too, I can feel. Remember, the bottom 2 were nuts, so they're gonna be on the stud, so you gotta pull it out of that stud. So your pipe go from the bottom, pull them off that stud, pull them off those 2 studs, and then you can lift it up. Oh well, it's caught right there. So yeah, let me maneuver this out real quick. Bam, and there she is, boys. Got coolant in there. Let me dump that coolant out somewhere. Well, I'll put this in the OEM scrap box when I get home. Bam. I keep all my OEM parts that I take off, just in case I ever need to revert the car back to stock. I have everything. So yeah. All right, so now way down there, you see those 2 studs? We need to put that gasket and that block off plate back down there with the nuts. So go ahead and do that. All right, fellas, almost done with the EGR. Now we got to take this piece off. Bam, this whole assembly right here. In order to get this off, I'll show you. Walk around to the driver's side. And that's the assembly we're going to take off. There's going to be 2 bolts down there. Bam, you see one of them? Right there. And there's another one right next to it. See if I get a good angle. Bam, those 2 bolts. 2 bolts are 10 millimeters. So I'm using a 6-inch with a swivel to get that one. I'm gonna crack that loose. Then I'll move it over and get the other one. Alright. Don't know how much of that you've seen. It's kind of fucking hard to record that and do it at the same time. This tight ass space. There's those bolts. And your dandy magnet, baby. To get those bolts out, you can move this out, give you some more room. You're gonna unclip that right here. There's a great clip. Unclip that, take that off. Get some electrical tape and wrap that up really good because we're not gonna be using it. And you see these two lines right here? Just like we did the coolant lines, those two small ones, this one and that bottom one, same shit. We are going to tie those two lines together. This one, boom, and this one, boom. With our last piece, this one, bam. Once you do that, we're done. So let me just go ahead and do that real quick. There it is. So once you take those two lines off, now pinch them off just like you did the two big ones, because they are coolant lines. So pinch both hoses off before you take either one off, right? Here they are. Where is it? Bam. Elbowed off. So we got the big block off plate. We got the two small coolant lines connected. We got the two larger coolant lines connected right there. And then we got our block off plate way down there. And that's it, fellas. That's your deleting your EGR. Last thing you gotta do is that plug that you unplugged right here. Tape that up really well and then zip tight to something so it's not down here clinking around. And that's it. That's your EGR, baby. Next, we are going to do these TGV deletes. So, 4 bolts. Actually, we're gonna have to unplug this one. We already did that side, remember? We did flex fuel. So you do the same thing over here. Just unplug this one. Push this down in and push it up. Boom. Oh, just like that. Boom. Got that bolt right there. Boom. We got these 2 bolts. This bolt. Boom. We're gonna take this off. There we go. Now we can access that bolt. And the same with the other side. Exact same locations. 1, 2, 3, 4. So take those 4 bolts out. All right, so with those 8 bolts out, your intake manifold, you can kind of lift up now. See? So we'll lift this up and we'll slide that TGV out. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, there's one. Ew, look at that. Yeah. So here is a comparison of the uppers. Yeah. So you got this flap. Now obviously your flap will be fully open, but even when it's fully open, see that big ass thing in the middle? It obstructs airflow. That's why you get those. Boom. It's wide open airflow, baby. That's the upper. Let me get the lower part out and I'll show you that too. Okay, so when you take off these lower TGV deletes, I tried to think about this for a second because I didn't know how to do it, but figured it out. So my upper TGV is gone, right? To take the lower one out, there is going to be a bolt right there. There's going to be a bolt on the left side. Behind this one, you can't see it. I already, right there, I cracked that one already. There's 3 of them, so there's that one. There's one in the middle, and then there's one on the right side. And I was looking at it, and I was like, how the fuck? I could see it right down there. Let me get the flashlight real quick. I could see it right down there. Right? And I was like, how? That right there. I was like, how the fuck am I going to get that bolt? Because there's this shit on the top. But this right here, this shit. I was like, how the fuck? The bolt is under that. This is foam. So I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So just get a flathead, go under there. I don't know if you see it. And just move that foam up. There's that bolt. It's hard to see. Right there. Wait, where am I? Right there. There's that bolt now. You see it? Right there. I moved that foam up. That foam was covering the bolt. I'll cover it again. Bam, like that. Bam, like that. See, you can see, kind of see the bottom of the bolt. But yeah, that's foam. So just get a flathead. Go in there and pry that foam up and out the way, and then you can access that bottom bolt right there. It's kind of hard to see on video, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you get to this point. To get that bolt closest to the front of the front bumper, that's foam. Just pry that foam up out of the way, and you can access that third bolt. Oh yeah, also I moved this vacuum line. This was in there. I had to take this out and move it to the side like that in order to get through there to move that foam to get that bolt out down there. You can't see, but anyways, I got it out. Got all three of those bolts out. So now that bottom TGV, boom, I can take out now. It's just hard to do it with one hand. But yeah, let me take this out real quick. All right, there we go. They're out. Let's see what my valves look like. How much carbon there is in there. I lost my flashlight, man. I need to find my flashlight real quick. Who knows where the fuck it's at? But here are your lowers. And that's why people get the full, because of this divider in the middle. So it sits on there like this. And this one sits on top of it like this. That's essentially what's in your car. That's how it looks. So you got those flaps and those dividers, right? But if you flip it around, you really see how thick it is. Look how thick that bar is. And if you flip this one around, you see how thick it is. Versus one piece, just straight air all the way through. Bam. So yep, side by side comparison. It sucks because these flaps are closed. I can't open them. But yeah. There's them. Out with the old, in with the new one piece, baby. Now, we're going to reuse these gaskets. So, we're going to take these gaskets out, put them on the new ones. Also, if you look down in there, you got dividers right there. I am going to, let's make my hands in there. Doing stuff with one hand, man, sucks. Okay, I can't do it with one hand, but you get the drift. Those dividers, I'm going to take mine out. Ron says that he has no evidence if it's better to take it out or leave them in. He took his out. I figured, you know what, fuck it. If I'm going full TGV deletes, why go 90% of the way? Fuck it, might as well go all the way. So I'm going to just take those dividers out also. I'll show you the dividers once I take them out. All right, so here are those dividers. They go in this way. These sides are identical, so I don't think it matters. But the slotted side is the side that goes down into the head. Yeah, they're a little oily. Got a little carbon buildup right there. They're not as bad as I thought. But look in there. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, I need to get a walnut blast, man. I mean, it's not super bad, but yeah. It's about one dude quoted me $600. I told him to go fuck himself. Actually, I didn't, but yeah, $600. That's ridiculous. After I'm fully done with Ron's tune, I will probably go spend the $500 to get all that walnut blasted. Might as well. I have 17,000 miles on the car, but I bought the car with 11.6 thousand miles. I didn't install my aerial separator until 14,000 miles. So, you know, 11,000 miles or 14,000 miles before that. That's how much built up. It's quite a lot. Dang. I could only imagine cars with 60, 70,000 miles. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy, dude. But yeah. Round up getting that walnut blasted here. Probably in next month or so. Yep, that's out. Now we can put the new ones in. But yep, so essentially just slide the new ones in now and bolt them back down. And good luck. I'm just playing. We got this. Don't forget to put your gaskets on your new ones. Oh yeah, so I don't know if this is the right way or not, but I actually got a little bit of oil. I got it from my dipstick. Just a little bit, and I smeared it around this gasket. I'm gonna wipe off the extra. I'm gonna wipe off the extra and then throw them in the car. There it is, baby, looking good. So finagling it in, getting it in there is kind of a bitch. Gotta lift this up and try to, wiggle it in there. It's not too bad, but it ain't something that's just gonna slide right in. Once it sits into place, it sits into place. So now we're gonna bolt those 3 bolts. So now line up those bottom holes. See, I'm not quite lined up. Line up the bottom ones and then put a bolt in all 3 of those bottom ones. And then we'll bolt the top. All right, so this is worth mentioning. To get that difficult bolt in, well, a couple things. One is they supply you with bolts. There's 8 bolts. These bolts are for the bottom. Or sorry, for the top. All right. Reuse 3 bolts that you took from the lower TGVs. You reuse those. All right, these bolts are for the top because you're no longer going to need these long ass ones because you're no longer going through both because it's a one piece. So the new bolts are for the 4 bolts on the top. Reuse the 3 bolts from the lower TGVs. All right, and to get that difficult one in, this is how I did it. I already twisted it on, but I got this cool little thing from Amazon. It's a magnet and it has that hook. Essentially, I just hooked the bolt like that. Just go down there, start it up, and then yeah. So yeah, this little thing is pretty cool. And it's a magnet. So yep, I just gotta tighten those bolts up. They're in there. Just gotta tighten them up. I have to look up the torque specs, and then I'll let you know. All right, so on iBR's website, it says 18.1 foot-pounds for the lower bolts and the upper bolts. So make sure you have your handy-dandy torque wrench. Torque them down to spec, and then we're doing the other side. All right, fellas, so we're going to work on this side. We already got those bolts out from last time. So don't torque that side down yet. That way, on this side, you have enough room to move it. I also had to move this bolt, which is the bolt that was holding this heat shield to here, right here. So I moved that bolt also. I left the other bolts to the heat shield, but now I got enough. I hope I got enough room, so I'm gonna try to move this upper out first, and then I'll show you. All right, so I got the upper off. This one's a little more crusty than the other one was. Huh? Wonder why. show you something real quick. I couldn't get it out. It was hard for me to slide it out, so I had to unclip this harness, which was on that metal thing. You push in that way and then lift this clip up off that metal thing, and then you can lift it high enough to get the TGVs and slide them out. So once again, I had to take this off that metal thing to get this wire harness up high enough to be able to slide the TGVs all the way out under here. All right, but because this heat shield, you can't see, but yeah, they're out. Now I gotta get the lower, which, you know, those 3 bolts. There's one on this side. Here it is. Focus. Where's my flashlight? Right there. 1. 2 is right there. Third one should be somewhere over here. Down there, I think. Where is it? Oh, yeah, right there. Next to this. Right there. So take those 3 bolts out and take that lower out. All right, so I got the lower out also right here. Bam. So I'm gonna take those gaskets out just like the last one, put them on here. Now for this side, you have a heat shield. Remember we took that top bolt off? So in order for me to get the dividers off, I have to take out that heat shield. It's only 2 bolts, one on the top that we already took off, and then the one right here. And then this heat shield moves and comes off. But I have to get this off now because I'm taking my dividers out and I can't reach them with this heat shield there. So if you're not taking your dividers out, you can skip this step. But I am, so I have to. That's probably enough room right there for me to get my hands down in there to get those dividers out. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. See, so with that heat shield out the way, now I can get down in there, get those dividers out. That heat shield is also going to be clipped on right here. That clip, you just squeeze these two and it pops up out of here. So your heat shield is on like that, and that it will be clipped in this one. Let's pop that clip off. But yeah, now I can go in there. Where are we at? Check that divider out. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I gotta clean those valves, man. That's hard to see on camera, but yep, I can see some carbon buildup on them, so yes sir, gonna have to clean that. Plus I might as well, you know, clean it at about maybe 19,000 miles, and then I'll have clean walnut blasted valves with my AOS and my EGR deleted. Then I should be good. So yeah, got everything torqued down. 18 foot-pounds. I did this one, then that one, then this one, then that one. 4 bolts on the bottom are torqued down. Same with this side. Came back on this side, torqued these down. Did this one, that one, and that one. I don't know if that's the right order. I don't even know if there is an order. That's just the way that I did it. Went ahead and zip tied everything down and buttoned everything up on this side. I can't button everything up on this side yet, like show sensor wires and everything, because I need to put my cold side piping back on when I'm ready to do all that. But I'm not ready to do that yet. So EGR is done. TGVs, one piece. There they are. Bam. Is done. Got the heat shield back on. Make sure anything that you unplug, you plug back up. You clamp back up. Speaking of that, remember this that I took out? Boom. See? See? Almost forgot. But remember, make sure you put everything back, basically. If you took it off, like we took this off to get that bolt off, put it back. So it's all done, guys. done, baby. Now, to be honest, that was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. A lot of the videos out there make it seem like it's going to be simple. Now, just replacing your upper TGV, I think, is a lot simpler, but having to replace the lower one too makes it just a little more difficult just to get to those bolts. The hardest part about these iBR TGV deletes is putting them in. It's just a hassle. You got to kind of work it in there just to get it in there. And the reason you have to do it is because of these wire harnesses. It's just you have to maneuver around these wire harnesses. So it's this big one on this side. Then on this side, it was these down here that were just in the way. You know what I mean? You got to go under them and over them and shit like that. That was probably just the hardest part, is actually getting the TGV deletes back in there. But once they're in there, everything's easy. Make sure you have the proper tools. You're going to need ratchets. You're going to need swivels, extensions, you know. But here are the old ones. I put those bolts back in there. I'm probably going to bolt this one together too with those. But there we go, baby. Old TGVs, upper and lowers out. Once again, I did take all my dividers out, or sliders out. And EGR system is out. Let's go, baby. So I'm fucking tired. That's it for this video. Stay tuned, because tomorrow I'm going to be doing my intake, turbo inlet, boost controller. I'm gonna run this boost gauge and load the map, do a coolant burp. Remember, if you delete your EGR, burp your coolant. I got it down there, the little funnel that you stick in here and you fill it up and let the car warm up, and I'll show you guys how to do all that. But yep, pretty much done. There it is. I did gold tape this. I have more gold tape. I'm gonna gold tape the rest of this top, but I'm gonna do that later. I still gotta cut my bumper before I log. I'm going to cut it up to about here, and I'm gonna come across and cut it down to get a good, what, about inch and a half more airflow. But that's all, guys. EGR, TGV, flex fuel, detailed, showed you how to do it. So go do it. Peace.